This is a U.S. China Media Brief produced by the UCLA Asian American Studies Center. I'm Russell Leong, Director of the U.S. China Media Brief of the UCLA Asian American Studies Center. I think you had mentioned, or one of the essays had mentioned, that all the leading Chinese writers during this period, the May 4th, 1919 movement, Lu Xun, Guo Moro, Mao Dun, Beijing, Qing, Ding Ling, all had some knowledge of a foreign language and specialized in translating French, Russian, English, or Japanese texts.
Yeah, this is a very good question. And in that time, I think the translator is quite different from today's. The writers at that time is quite different from writers today. At that time, Chinese literature is still something new. You see, so they are quite young, so they have to absorb nourishment from the Western literature. So at that time, writer at the same time were translators themselves. While translating Western works into China, they absorb or they learn something from the techniques of writing or literary styles from the translation in this way to shape Chinese modern literature. So that's why they are specialized in translation besides the creative writing. So as a result, they are productive in both with the writings and the translations. But it's true today, translators or writers don't have this with tradition or characteristics.
So actually they had to do much more at that time. Besides writing their own essays, they had to do a lot of translation also.
The task for them, the destiny for them are different. So they had to do so. So because they showed the task to reforming Chinese modernity, reforming Chinese literature. So if they have to do this, with translation.
Now, in translating China, you have a fascinating essay on the 20th century figure Liang Qichao, 1873-1929, who, together with Kang Youwei, are acknowledged as two of the political literary figures who helped to bring China into the 20th century. Can you tell us a little bit about Liang Qichao and what you say about him in your essay?
Kang Youwei and Liang Qichao, the two actually are leaders for China Reformation movement. So, but Liang Qichao is quite different from Kang Youwei. Maybe Kang Youwei is active in destroy the old, the society. But Liang Qichao not only destroying an old society, but very active in constructing a new society. So Liang Qichao played a very, very important role in the construction of Chinese modernity in a lot of fields, for literature, for journalism, for education, and of course for translation. He used translation, you see. He changed his political reform into literature, and in literature he focused on translation because translation can bring new things to China. Of course, he emphasized on translation of political logos.
Now, in your article, you stated that Leong translated more novels and texts from the Japanese rather than from European languages. Why?
There are two reasons, I think. First of all, Liang knows only Japanese. You see, after the failure of the Reformation movement, he fled to Japan. So there he studied Japanese. So that's one reason. And the second reason, I think, is that at that time, more Chinese scholars at Japan, because Japan is the labor of China, so it's easy to go across to study in Japan. But people at that time studied in the United States or Europe are very, very, very few. So to make full use of these people, Liang Jito's idea. So in this way, can give a great push to the translation of Western works. So he encouraged people to translate Western books from Japanese. He encouraged people to do so. There is a lot of reason, of course. Japanese is quite similar to Chinese, especially for the classical Japanese. So that is why, he encouraged people to translate texts from this.
Actually, to continue, Professor Luo, so actually in terms of modern Chinese nationalism and identity, there's been a lot of interchange between China, Japan, Europe, Russia, right? And so that actually is not that well understood by, especially in America. They would think, oh, this is China, this is America, or this is East and this is West. But actually, you talk about the whole tradition of, through translation, this exchange of ideas very early on. Now, you just one more point. You had said that in terms of Liang Qichao, he looked at translation as more of a matter of waking the world rather than of loyalty to the original text. So maybe you can.
Yeah, at that time, first, for Liang Qichao, to waken the people is more important to be faithful to the law, because at that time China was in a transit period, you see. So in order to reform Chinese modernity, he had to do so. So to waken people and also manipulate the translation in his practice. So of course that will be different from those translators who try hard to be faithful to the novel. So Liang Qichao want to introduce the main ideas of the novel to Chinese people. Let Chinese people know what happened outside China. So to get more knowledge about the Western culture and the Western society. So faithful, or if you can get the spirit of the original, that's okay.
The preceding copyrighted program is a property of the University of California, Los Angeles. All rights reserved. It may be used freely for educational and not-for-profit activities. For other uses or to make an inquiry, please contact the Asian American Studies Center at UCLA.